Bob, you know what it is. Geeks are back on the scene. UFC Vegas 71 predictions. We're starting from the bottom, going to work our way up. Full card analysis, Geeks version. Let's get after it. Let's have a weekend here. We are starting off with Batgirl Dana Batgirl, 12-4, coming out against Brady Highstand, 6-2. Brady Highstand, 23 years old. Dana's going to be coming back at about 32, 33, so about a 10-year age gap. Brady has a lot of improving to do. He's super young, so I could see improvements being made, but just this matchup is just tough for him. He's pretty much jiu-jitsu reliant at this point in his UFC career, and Dana's got some decent wrestling, and he loves to just stand guys up and knock them out. So stylistically, I mean, this kind of plays into Dana's hands. I'm gonna take Dana in this matchup to do some damage on the feet. I'm not saying he finishes Brady, but I just don't think Brady can get it to the mat as consistently as he needs to. So, Dana, what do you got?
I'm with you. I like Brady in this one. I think Dana's kind of shown us that he struggles with wrestling opponents or people who just like to take him down. And I think that's where Brady's going to want to go in this fight. A lot of takedowns, a lot of just like movement inside in the clinch up against the fence. I think if it stays on the feet at distance, Brady will have a tough time. We've seen the power from Dana over and over again, but I think Brady will learn from his last fight where he did get dropped. um, he will learn to close the space, especially on someone like Dana, get a lot of takedowns. I think this one will be an easy over or even a decision prop, but I'm riding with Brady.
Oh, okay. Fishman, what do you got?
I'm on Dano's side in this one. I'm riding with Brady, and but yeah, I'm liking it. I'm seeing how the odds are moving, and people are putting some money on high stand, so I like that. And the kid's tough. I mean, we've seen him in tough. We've seen him fight some scrappy dudes, and he's a tough kid. He's also 10 years younger than Dana, so I'm riding with Brady. Give me that dog pick.
Let's go. Goosey, what do you got?
This is a real toss up for me. Obviously, if it's stuck on the feet, I don't think Brady fares too well, but we've seen Dana Batgirl kind of gas out, and that is two things: gas out and not have the best grappling defense. That is what High Stand is going to try to use to his benefit. I think that's what he is best at, just shooting takedowns, and he has a pretty good gas tank. So I think if he can withstand some big shots in the first round, he's young, he's got a good chin, get it to rounds 2 and 3. I think he starts to get this fight to the ground, get some control time. I don't think we get a submission, but Brady High Stand underdog value. That's gonna be the pick for me.
Fair enough. Coming off a win is Brady, and Dana's coming off 2 losses, so it seems like the UFC is throwing Brady maybe a little bit of a bone here. We'll find out. Moving into the next one, we got a female boot. This is a flyweight scrap. Priscilla Cachoeira, 12-4, coming out against Karine Silva, 15-4. I'm gonna take the over 2.5 and call it a day. Goosey, what's your take?
This one, another one. It's grappler versus pretty powerful striker. I am going to go with Priscilla Cachoeira here. I'm not sure I love the takedowns from Silva. She hasn't been super tested, and Cachoeira does kind of have some dynamite in her fists. We've seen her start some girls, and I think that this fight does play out on the feet. Silva gets hit a lot. That striking defense isn't where you want it to be. And I think if she's on the bad end of these punches, it's just going to make it harder to get takedowns. We'll see some panic, and we'll see that gas tank wear out. So I'm going to go with Priscilla Cachoeira here.
Dana, what do you got?
I'm with you guys. I like Cachoeira. I think just she's got the power in this one, and her hands are always live. So I like that.
Fishman?
Yeah, so I like Cachoeira as well, just because she's the underdog here. She's got heavy hands, but what scares me is just Karine's submission ability, and it just scares me. Jillian Robertson getting the choke over Cachoeira in the past, and that's how she loses. She loses decisions and subs. You're not gonna knock her out, but I'm gonna just go with my brain here, which is kind of crazy considering my last pick, but I'm just gonna fade Cachoeira in this one.
Interesting. All right, we're moving to the next bout. We got a featherweight scrap. We got Francis the Fire Marshal, undefeated prospect, 7-0, coming out against William Gomez, who is a 11-2 French kickboxer, I believe, Muay Thai striker, stand up fighter. I'm gonna take Francis in this one. I think he's going to lay some serious damage down on the kid Gomez. I think that anywhere the fight is, Francis will have the power advantage, the wrestling advantage, jiu-jitsu advantage. I could see this fight going quickly too. So I'll leave it at that. Front kick, what's your take on this one?
I say Francis lays some hands on the kid. Give me Francis Marshall by. I'm going just by finish. I'm going for a finish here, Francis. Let's go.
Let's go, Goosey. What do you got?
This one, pretty interesting matchmaking because it is two rising studs. They both have very good records. Seems like the UFC could market them pretty well. You got Francis the Fire Marshal, William Gomez out of France as well. I think that they are two good prospects. We saw Gomez have a little bit of problems once that got to the later ends of that fight. His last time out, he really started to gas out. He was looking good early, but he likes to play a slow pace. He likes to really keep it at range, and I think that Francis Marshall is going to be walking forward, hitting him with volume, and the guy's got some pop in those shots. It's tough to knock out Marcelo Rojo. He made it look not easy, but he got the job done pretty quick in Orlando. And I think possibly we could see maybe a second round finish here.
Dano, what do you got?
I'm with you guys. I like Francis Marshall too, and I'm really interested to see if we will see a little bit of wrestling in his game plan this time, because in his last fight against Rojo, we didn't really see too much wrestling or much at all really before he knocked him out. But when you get a really good striker like Gomez, who knows, maybe Francis gets hit here or there and he shoots a takedown, and then we see him on the ground. I think that will definitely benefit him if he decides to go down that route, because like Goose was saying, Gomez does have some gas issues. We've seen him gas out in later rounds before. If this fight goes into the second round, third round, I think it will definitely benefit Francis Marshall. But like you guys, I'm all over him too.
All right, let's get it. We're going to the next one. We got a heavyweight scrap. This is a Ultimate Fighting champion, the Ultimate Fighter champion, Muhammad Usman, 8-2, brother of Kamaru Usman, coming out against Junior Tafa, 4-0. This is like the siblings matchup here. The Tafas are notorious in the UFC as well. You got Justin Tafa, these big old Aussie bangers. Let's see. I'm taking Junior Tafa. I'm taking him. I think that he's a young kid. He's like 26 years old, something like that. Muhammad Usman's 34. Muhammad Usman's just seems slow to me. Like, I just don't think that this guy can dial in and really calculate. I think that Junior Tafa is going to be, he's an inch taller, so that takes away a little bit of the that big strength, disadvantage that he has on a lot of guys. So yeah, man, I think that, the younger soul is just going to be able to touch him up, maybe use a little bit of that vet savvy, intel that he's going to have in his corner and really just get this one done. I could see Usman slowing down, and I could see that young booster get after it. So that's what I'm taking. What do you got, Dano?
I'm riding with Mo Usman, the tough champion. I think, we always talk about how the UFC doesn't want to kill off their prospects, or they want to set this guy up for a good fight. I feel like, Usman might not be a fan favorite, the UFC's kind of invested in him, as he did win tough. He is a crazy athlete. He was one of those former football players turned MMA guys. And then Tafa, he's just 4-0. He's kind of just a kickboxer, Samoan guy that we all know out of the New Zealand area. So we kind of know what he's going to be bringing. Usman's been away for so long to where who knows what he's been been working on. Hopefully he's been improving his game. Hopefully he's been improving the striking. I think the wrestling will play a big part in this one because Tafa, like I was saying, mainly kickboxer. Hopefully we get this to the ground for Usman, and I'm riding with him.
Usman broke his thumb. That's why he was out for so long. Goosey, what do you got?
Dude, this one's tough. Obviously Tafa, he's got that Polynesian chin. He's got some bombs in the hands like his brother. Um, but you look at it and the sharps seem to be on Usman in this one. It might be that he has a little bit of the wrestling that he can bring to it. Usman was like plus 185 at the drop, and something hit like right Sunday night at midnight or Saturday night at midnight. He went all the way to even, like plus or minus 110. So the people throwing the big money down are seeing something on Usman. I don't know if it's the wrestling, maybe. But Tafa at 4-0, he has some boxing, kickboxing experience, but we haven't seen him in too many fights where there is the option to grapple. And I think that Usman can exploit that here. So I mean, even odds, both are minus 110. I'm going to go with Usman here. I've seen more of him. I know what to expect.
What do you got, Front Kick?
I don't want to ride with Mo, but I guess I'm gonna have to ride with Mo just cause. But the real pick is just under. I think there's just gonna be a finish in this fight. And someone's gonna get finished.
All right, moving to the next one. We got a featherweight scrap, female boot, Carol Rosa 16-4, Norma Dumont 8-2. I'm taking the over 2.5. Goosey, what do you got?
I'm gonna go with Norma Dumont here. I like her grappling a little bit, her striking. She seems to be a little bit more crisp on the feet. And I mean, it's gonna be a close fight. Maybe throw a split decision in there if you want to get some action. But Norma Dumont, better competition. She had the better performances her last time out, and I'm gonna ride with her.
Front Kick, what do you got?
Another one where I just think it could go either way. But we just got two pretty good Brazilians, Carol Rosa going from bantamweight to featherweight. So I'm just gonna go with Norma just because I think she's a little more comfortable at that weight division, been up there. Carol Rosa moving up, so might not know what that pop's like.
Let's go. Dana, what do you got?
I'm with you guys. I'm riding with Norma Dumont. Fish, I like how you pointed that out because I think that will play a factor in this one. Norma, she is pretty wrestling base-ish, so I feel like, her going up against a smaller girl will really help her take control of those grappling situations and wrestling situations. So definitely riding with Norma. I don't know about decision or whatnot, but definitely Norma.
All right, cool. That's cool. We're moving into the next matchup. This one's going to be super interesting. Just because we got a big prospect versus a big time. Do we call him a legend? I mean, potentially a legend. Ronnie Yaya coming out 28-10-1 against Montel Jackson 12-2 bantamweight scrap. I'm gonna take Montel Jackson to really do a number here. Ronnie Yaya, jiu-jitsu wizard. I mean, this guy is freaking jits god. But Montel is super hard to get a hold of, super hard to take down, super squirmy. He's got his own jits too in his own right. I mean, this guy trains, he's dedicated to the game. He's a rising prospect, man, and this is a instant red flag. I mean, Ronnie Yaya is cutting down to 35. He's 38 years old. These older guys you don't last at these smaller weight classes. It's just too quick. The competition's just gotten way better. So I think Montel's gonna have a big splash here, and I'm hoping Ronnie Yaya holds his own, because I don't want to see him go out too bad. What do you got, Goosey?
We're gonna go Montel Jackson, and we're gonna go round one. in this one. I think he gets a knockout early. Yaya's chin has been fading. It almost cracked his last time out to the point that Mr. Perfect Kang gassed out and lost the last 2 rounds. Jackson, though, he's got a little bit more pop on the punches. I mean, if you're going into this fight and you're Jackson, don't get taken down and you will win the fight. So, obviously easier said than done, but he's got some pop. I think he's got the tools to do it. Montel Jackson, I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Dana, what do you got?
I'm all over Montel Jackson this one, and I'm not really too afraid of him getting taken down because Yaya does have a low takedown accuracy, I believe, of sub 30%. Montel's got that long rangey style to where if he just stays true to his game plan, stays quick on his feet, I really don't see him having a problem with getting taken down. I think he's gonna put down Ronnie Yaya. I think Jackson straight up is an easy parlay piece. But if you want to get dicey with it, I'm feeling a Montel Jackson TKO.
Yeah, what do you got, Front Kick?
I'm taking Montel in this one, but the thing that sticks out to me is this absurd reach advantage. He's got 8-inch reach advantage, and he's 4 inches taller. So Montel's really going to use that to his advantage in this fight. I see him getting a knockout as well. I don't know about round 1, but I like that play, Goose. KO round 1 will be nice and juicy. So give me that.
All right, let's ride. We're moving into the featured bout of the prelims. Blew through those pretty quick. We've got Ricky Glenn, 22-6-2, coming out against Christos Giagos, 19-10-0. Ricky Glenn is totally the type of guy to have 2 ties on his record. Let me just put that out there right now. That doesn't surprise me in the least bit. This guy is definitely a character, man. You look at this guy, you don't think he's a fighter at all. You probably find this guy in the comic store. But he puts a pace on dudes, and he's got good jiu-jitsu. His stand-up is, it's not great, but it's just bizarre. It's hard to figure out per se. The thing about it, and the thing about this matchup is that Christos Giagos is a freaking just an animal. He gives me like, Ion Cutelaba type vibes. This guy kind of just comes in there and throws, shit to the wall until something sticks. Like he's got a wide arsenal and he's super aggressive. And I think that that's kind of the game plan that's going to work, the best against a guy like Ricky Glenn, where you're kind of just throwing all hell to the wind. Because that way you can just overwhelm Ricky Glenn's kind of bizarre styles and weird jiu-jitsu. He probably will have a big strength advantage. Glenn is a wiry dude. Giagos is more of a brick house. So I think that his game plan works. I think that his chaos is going to provoke some serious damage. And I think Giagos gets a finish in this matchup. I think that there's guys that Ricky Glenn can beat out there, but Christos is just a little bit too wild, a little bit too strong. So I'm taking Giagos by finish. And I think he can do it early too, but I'd probably sprinkle round 2. What do you got, Dano?
I like that. I was gonna say Giagos by finish 2 because Christos has been fighting some dogs in the likes of Sarukian, likes of Thiago Moises. He's been fighting a lot of good people, and the thing with Ricky Glenn is he's been off for a while, so who knows what he'll look like when he comes back in. But Christos fighting the dogs, finally, he took some time off, I believe around a year. He's finally coming back against not really, like you were saying, someone who doesn't look like a fighter or a killer, I should say, not someone who looks like a Sarukian, a Thiago Moises. So maybe Christos has a little better mental state coming into this fight, a little refreshed, a little revamped, coming off some losses, needs a win. I think this is a good opponent for him, and I do like the finish.
Let's go. Front Kick, what do you got?
Yeah, I see some money coming towards Giagos on this one. So I mean, Christos, I do see ways that he could win. I do think he's been fighting good opponents, like Dano said, even Jakar Close. So yeah, give me the dog picking Christos in this one. I'll ride the dog.
Let's go. Goosey, wrap it up.
Hesitant sweep here. Ricky Glenn, he does a pretty good job of not getting stuck on his back. He doesn't do the best job of keeping himself off the mat, though. When he fights wrestlers, he tends to get taken down multiple times, and that does play into his game plan where he gets up and then they end up getting more tired than he is, and he has good rounds at the end. But a guy like Giagos, he's kind of so psycho that he just pushes through his gas tank, and he's just in there to fight and brawl. And I think he will get the takedowns. He'll get some damage. And then we got Ricky Glenn. I mean, he's getting older. We haven't seen him in a while. He's been taking a lot of time off. I don't think he's going to be as crisp as we all remember him. He was in kind of a war the last time he was out. He's been taking damage. And then Giagos, I mean, he's fighting some of the best guys in the world at one of the best weight class in the world, UFC lightweight. He's fighting guys that are in the rankings there. So I think that guy just out of the rankings in Ricky Glenn, Giagos, underdog value. I like it.
Let's go. Those are the picks and predictions. Prelims, UFC Vegas 71. Hit the next video. Catch the main card scoop. Let's get after it. Thanks for tuning in. Get after us on socials.